So with that, I will turn it over to Jeff Morrell from the Associate Dean from the School of Trades.
Thank you very much, Dorita. I really appreciate the introduction. Welcome, everybody. So happy to be here. I am the Associate Dean of the School of Trades, and the hairstyling program is one of my favorites. You know, if you enjoy making people feel good about themselves, if you want to apply your passion for helping others and your artistic flair, and that's key, having that artistic flair to a career in hairstyling, we are the place for you. Our hairstyling program is a really great learning opportunity, and as you can see by the photo, we have a state-of-the-art salon type of experience for the students. As a graduate of our program at Niagara College, you will qualify to start your hairstyling apprenticeship, leading into a rewarding career as a hairstylist. So the program is a 2-year diploma program, which is completed in a condensed manner over 3 consecutive semesters. And so I want to kind of clarify that a little bit for people. What that means is that instead of you taking a normal 24-hour-a-week term, 4 terms, what we've done is we've condensed the learning, and the students typically are in class for about 30 hours a week. So instead of doing the same amount, it's the same amount of learning. In fact, I think there's a little bit more hours in the hairstyling program. But instead of doing it over 56 weeks, you actually do it over 42. So a student who starts in September of 2021, the fall, they actually graduate in August of 2022. And while you're there, of course, you'll gain fundamental knowledge of hair design, and you'll be learning some really cool, innovative technical skills around the hair industry and about all of the things that a hairstylist does. And a lot of people don't understand the amount of science and around some of the processes, like mixing hair color or any of those chemical treatments. It's actually applied science, and so it's really cool and interesting learning. So graduates of this program do not need to return to trade school. What happens is they're exempt, and so in Canada, across Canada, not just in Ontario, so across the Canada, we have several trades, several compulsory trades. This is a compulsory trade, but you typically get signed up as your apprentice, and then you'll have to come back to trade school. And for hairstyling, there's 2 levels, there's 2 terms, and so people would come back to trade school. But if you take the program, you are automatically exempt from trade school. What you learn inside the program exceeds that in the apprenticeship training. Our graduates are exempt from returning to trade school. And so as soon as you get your career, you get registered, or you get your job, you get registered as an apprentice with the salon, and you're right away starting to complete your on the job portion of your apprenticeship. There's also a real kind of unique piece with the hairstyling apprenticeship. Hairstyling is not hours-based apprenticeship. It's a skill-based apprenticeship. And so what happens is when you get signed up in the salon, you basically get a book that has all the skills, you know, and so when the stylist who is who you're registered under is satisfied with how you're doing I don't know, I'm going to go to an old hairstyle, the bob, right? So when they're satisfied you're doing the bob, they sign you off in your book. Well, when you get your book signed off that you've completed all of these competencies, you're able to write your CAQ. Typically, it takes students about 1.5 years or 2 years after they've completed our program. There's some students that actually get their book signed off a lot sooner, but the average is about 1.5 years, 2 years after they've completed the program, and then they're able to go and write their certificate of qualification. The admission requirements for the program, of course, is grade 12, an Ontario secondary school diploma, and the careers are very vast. You know, you could be a stylist, you could be a barber, you could be a salon owner, you could be a product salesperson, you could do all types of different work. You could work in the fashion industry, doing hair for models. You could work in the film industry, right? tons of different opportunities for people coming out of the program. So I already talked about it being a compulsory trade, spoke to this a little bit, but what a compulsory trade means is that you actually, it is actually legislation where you have to have your C of Q, your certificate of qualification, as a hairstylist in order to be able to cut another person's hair and charge them to do so legally in Canada. And so it's really, really important that all of our students understand that, and that when they graduate, that it's really important that they take the steps to ensure that they get their certificate of qualification. And as I say, our program is designed and aimed so that we actually give you a really good head start on that pathway. And this is one of the reasons why I really like the hairstyling program, because it's one of those trades where the tradesperson, the hairstylist, is able to express their art, and so they express themselves in their art. And Savannah, it truly is an art when you're doing hair, isn't it?
We've been doing a lot of updos this semester, and it's a lot. Right now we're on, I think it's competition updos, and I'm kind of even struggling with that, but it's really nice. And we look at a lot of pictures and videos, just trying to get inspiration for that. And I don't know, all our teachers are just really, really good at stuff like that, and color everything. I really enjoy color because it's like painting. And it's kind of like, I've been told it's kind of like the hair is a blank canvas. That's how they like to talk about that. So I don't know, it's just really nice. I really like it. I really like the art part. I'm very creative. So if you're creative, it's pretty much perfect for you.
Exactly. And so that's one of the things why hairstylists build their clientele, because basically they express themselves in their work. And so just because you go and get an updo done at a salon A by a certain stylist, it's not exactly the same as an updo done at salon B by another stylist, because each stylist puts their artistic flair into their work. And so and I also believe that people are happy when we get to express ourselves artistically. And so I think that a hairstylist, they're always happy, they're always pleasant, they're always enjoying their work, and it's because they get to express themselves through their work. A career as a hairstylist, of course, is not just limited to just going to work and cutting people's hair. You could do anything you want to do. Already listed earlier the types of jobs and stuff. But you could be the type of stylist that's very happy and satisfied with having a chair in a salon and having your regular customers, and you go in and you come home and you don't have to worry about the responsibility of ordering all the stock, as you see in the picture that we have there, or running the phones, or the accounting, or any of those types of things. Or you could become a salon owner. One of the things people don't realize about many of the small businesses in Canada is that they're mostly owned by tradespeople, and salons are one of the biggest areas, right? Because all of those people are registered hairstylists, and so there's a lot, like you can, the sky's the limit. Savannah already kind of touched on this about our faculty being big into competitions, and so we're really hopeful that once this pandemic is over, and we're hoping for next May to have another winner at the Skills Ontario, and maybe a winner in Skills Canada next and May 2022. And if you are into competitions, maybe you're going to be that student. I don't know if you want to speak to some of that, Savannah, about our faculty and about them being, who they are.
Yes. I'd say they're all very rememberable. They've really gotten me prepared for, I've recently got a job at a salon early before I even finished school. I'm pretty excited about that, but they've really gotten me to that point where I'm confident enough in my skills and everything. I think I'm pretty confident, but Joe is great. He's really good with haircuts. He loves updos. I wasn't really a fan of those at the beginning, but he really encouraged me and I really started to enjoy those. And then Chrissy she also does the updo class, the makeup class. I haven't done the makeup class yet, but I'm really excited to because she's really extravagant, so loud. I love talking. They're all great at talking. I'm a talking person, so I just love talking to them. And Pat's very memorable too. I just remember him because perms all day. That's all we did with him, perms. And he made me really like those too. Not a lot of people like perms, but I really did. Pat's really good with color too. He does all of our color theory and has really helped me understand it a little bit better. Even though he physically can't just teach all of the color theory in class, we still get that through online. Sorry, kind of, but, and I also, what was I gonna say? My bad. But in our clinic class, I'm being currently taught by Renee in our clinic class, and she's really good with, I don't know, she makes me feel pretty confident. They're all really good at making you confident.
Yeah, we do have a really excellent team of gifted individuals who are really great hairstylists in their own right. But as Savannah has pointed out, somebody like Pat is extremely gifted at things like color, and so we make sure that we get the right people in the right spot, right? And they have a wonderful team over there at the pavilion, and that's the what we call the area for the hairstyling program. And so now that I've mentioned that, and I don't think it's in the presentation, the hairstyling program actually is in the pavilion. It's kind of its own entity, right, Savannah? Right. And so the only thing that happens over there is the core hairstyling courses. There's 3 hairstyling labs, and that's where you go and you do all your your core hairstyling courses. And so, but you're only steps away from the main campus building, and you're only steps away from all the services and all those types of things. I do have a couple of other things on there, and it is a lot of hands-on, right, Savannah?
Yes.
You're in the lab a lot, right? And of course, your timetable is about 30 plus hours per week.
Yes, I think last semester I was in there 6 days a week.
Yeah, so we've had some struggles with the COVID piece. We have had some struggles. Might be a good time to bring that up. We have done everything in our power to make sure that the students and faculty and staff are all safe during the pandemic. We have, as Dorita has alluded to in the beginning slides, the college has been very active and proactive in thinking about how we approach the learning. Now, of course, when things came down from the government, they had talked about what they were going to allow as face-to-face learning. It didn't mean we had to, but what they were going to allow, and they did allow trades. And so that's, hairstyling is under the trades umbrella. And so we had some restrictions there. And so that's why we had to reduce the number of students that were in the labs, and then we did have to run some Saturday and Sunday courses. So my advice is, while we're still trying to pull out of the pandemic, is to pick your schedule fast. Mind you, some students might really like to be, and some students have said that. No, I want to come Saturday because they do something on Wednesday, and the schedule with where they were on Saturday, they weren't there Wednesday, and so they're kind of happy. But we've done what we had to in order to ensure that the training went on. Also spoke about the online portion, and so the theory has was moved online by the faculty, and I have to really take my hat off to my faculty in the School of Trades. They did an awesome job, and for an area where most of the learners are tactile, where they learn by doing and they learned by interacting with their hands, the faculty did an awesome job of transitioning that theory to online. Now, as Dorita has put in the beginning, we are going to be moving back to more face-to-face activities. This program will still have a good portion of its theory part online for the fall semester in 2021. But we're looking to transitioning more for winter 2022. So as you are attending schools, more and more coming back on campus. We kind of have to be cautious because we don't know where the pandemic is going to go, and we want to make the experience as meaningful to you as possible, and not disturb, not have to go through some of the things that some of our students had to go through a year ago when all of a sudden we were closed, right? So we do a lot of we stay really current in a lot of the stuff that we do in the salon. And so we have, as you can see, I took a close up at some of the products that we have in the salon. We stay current in all of the products that are you could buy at any of the salons you'd go into. We do carry all of the brands, all of the leading brands. And as you can see on the close-up of the picture, you can see that we have a lot of men's products in there. Niagara College is a leader in integrating barbering into the course. In fact, we did a program change just a little while ago. Savannah is probably the second.
We were the first. We were the first group to do it.
The first group. Oh, there you go.
And Joe taught it.
Yeah, Joe taught
it.
Joe's really good. We do have another person on staff, Cassandra. She's a barber. And so she's a licensed hairstylist, got to make that, but she works as a barber. And so we're really fortunate to have people on staff who know that side of the industry, because the men's styles are starting to come back and be really, really important. I don't know, Savannah, if you have anything to add about that. I mean, you did take the course with Joe.
What was I gonna say? Well, it was the first time. He was still trying to figure it out, but we learned a lot of we did a lot of after the haircuts, we do a lot of styling and testing out products. We did test out a lot of the American Crew that's in the picture. Well, I know I did. I like testing out products, but we really did practice after our haircuts. We'd blow dry them a certain way. It's really good because I do a lot of them at home still. I've been doing a lot of my boyfriend's hair, and it's just really good.
There you go. And so we do like to stay current. We do like to be a leader in the industry. Joe, who's been mentioned quite a few times, is very active in Skills Ontario. He's been very active with the province. The province has committees that talk about a curriculum and those types of things. And so we are very fortunate to have the team that we have.
Great. Now, thank you. So, sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
Well, what I was going to say is that, this deadline is really important in the hairstyling program, because for the fall intake, we'll take 48 students. It's a hard stop. I can't take 49. It's a hard stop. We have only so much time and space. And I'll take 48 students in the winter. Now, the winter tends to fill there tends to be some space, but the fall, it is going to fill really, really fast. It is a really popular program. If you can't get in because we're full, we do run an intake in May. And so if you want to start, or if you can start on May the 10th, we also have the spring summer intake. But this deadline to accept your admission offer is really, really important for hairstyling if you want to get in.
Why did you choose Niagara College? There's lots of hairstyling programs. There's not lots of ways that you can go about getting a credential and be a hairstylist. Why did you choose Niagara College?
I found that a lot of people I've seen have went to this program. I've seen it. A lot of us have Instagrams for all our stuff, and I've seen a lot of people post about it. like even our teachers have that. So I kind of see it all around. I've seen it on the Niagara College, and like there's really not that many around. Like they're all kind of farther, and I found like this one in the best in the area. That's why I chose it. I just was like, it's really good.
Yeah, that's great to hear, and amazing that you have a job already. You said at a salon, so you've not even graduated, but you're starting to work in the salon, and then once you have your credential, then you're going to be able, your license, you're going to be able, you'll continue on in that salon.
Yep.
Ask me, Dorita. Ask me why I chose Niagara College.
Jeff, I know, Jeff. Although I know you're not a hairstylist, but why did you choose Niagara College? Because you have extensive experience in the trades.
Yeah, I'm actually a tradesperson, not a hairstylist.
Right.
But so one of the things that people don't know about me is that I've been very active with the Heads of Apprenticeship Training of Ontario, but I've also been really, really active with the national body, and I'm currently the chair of the National Council of Deans of Apprenticeship, Trades, and Technology. So I had lots of options. I have been in institutions and looked at all of their programs from PEI all the way to Vancouver Island. And I chose Niagara College because the things that we do the best. And so we are, as came out in what Savannah was talking about in our space and in our faculty, we excel. And so whatever program Niagara College is offering and doing, we actually do it really, really well. So we have typically in the School of Trades, even where there's they could go anywhere. We typically have somebody who's come from a far a far corner of the province past everybody to come to ours, because we do really, really well. So
yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, and that's such an important perspective. So thanks, Jeff. Yeah, it's our hairstyling program really is a leader in its the way that we're teaching, the quality, I think, of our graduates. And I know that I see it. I work at the Welland campus as well, and I walk by the pavilion building where the hairstyling students are, and I see all of the mannequin heads. So Savannah, you guys all get issued, right? These mannequin heads. And
I currently have like 10 in my trunk. I have a lot.
That must look a little disturbing when you open your trunk, but because sometimes we'll see them in the pavilion, in the window, they'll have them all standing, but a little bit, wow, look at those heads. But more so, what's so amazing, and you really notice, is the creativity and the quality of the hairstyles that are on these mannequins that the students are working on and practicing on, and then getting ready for competitions. And so really it's amazing quality. And I think that's partly too because of our experienced faculty. And all of our faculty, Jeff, all of our faculty are obviously licensed hairstylists and have
Correct.
owned businesses or currently own businesses, right?
Correct.
Yes, I think most of them have said that they've worked at that. Well, a lot of them have had or still have their own salon. I don't know if they do, but they all still continue to work because they want to stay up on their A game. They want to be good. They want to keep up their knowledge. And they always say continuing your education too. They're always continuing, always learning new stuff. And they even learn stuff from like students too. Like, I don't know, but I found that I'm pretty good at braids, and I was showing Joe some of my braiding skill.
Actually, being a tradesperson means you're a lifelong learner. It doesn't matter what trade. There's always changes in technology. Always. And so you can always learn. And it's actually a wonderful piece about the program, about Niagara College, that it's a community, and so that really shines through in the pavilion, in the hairstyling program. And so it's not been so present while we've been dealing with the pandemic and limited number of students on campus and those types of things. But as we transition out and we get back to doing our normal operation, one of the things I'm really looking forward to is that sense of community amongst that group. And so I think about one of the really cool things, Savannah just mentioned about Joe learning from the students, and it is how we interact with our students across the School of Trades. And so it goes back to this old comic that I had years and years ago, where and I forget, it was Hobbes in something, and so the comic is the one character says, last week I taught my dog how to count to 10, and the other kid says, well, let me see him do it. He says, wow, I only said I taught him. It doesn't mean he can do it. And I know, or it doesn't mean he learned it, right? And so the piece in there is that learning and teaching are interchangeable, and our faculty in the hairstyling program understand that probably better than any. And while they're in the lab, while they're interacting and learning, they're interacting and learning, and they're interacting and teaching. And so, well, their learning portion is small. It's still a constant upgrade, and so they're actually immersed in the process with you. Is what I'm trying to get at. Like, their teaching and the learning are all interconnected, and so it's a wonderful, wonderful atmosphere whenever I walk through there, and it's a wonderful learning experience for the students.
I like what you said there about community. It's so true. There is such a sense of community within the hairstyling program. I mean, you see it where Savannah, I mean, she's calling all of her instructors by their first names, right? Like Joe and Pat, and it's that's because that's the relationship that you have with them, right, Savannah, and how close you are, and how you get that support. And I think you mentioned that you do feel that they reach out to you, and that they're there when you need them. And it is such a sense of community. And that is so much a part of Niagara College as well, that we often refer to ourselves as the Niagara College family. And we do feel like a family. And we feel like a family with our students, but also our graduates, even alumni. Jeff, I'm sure that you still have former students, graduates who come back and keep in touch with you. And we see that all across the college. And even though this year we're approaching a milestone, we are expecting to graduate our 100,000th student this spring. So we've graduated over 100,000 students, but yet we still have these, this sense of community and that small Niagara College feel, and everyone's supported, which is a real difference. And I think that's important to understand, because there are hairstyling programs all over the province at different types of institutions. And but you also have to look beyond just the hairstyling program, and also think about what kind of culture are you joining. And so you felt that too, Savannah?
I found that with COVID, I've found that since it's more one-on-one, I found I liked it better this way. I wouldn't change it anyway. And I've really, even with the students in the class, since it was such a small number, I've talked to other people in the different groups, and their group that they all kind of picked their timetables according to everybody else. So we all kind of had the same timetables, because we really enjoyed everybody. And we kind of picked our timetables based on our teachers from the semester before too.
That's
so
great.
I need to go and check to see whose timetable is getting filled first. Okay.
That's great. And so you see each other online, but then Savannah, you've also been on campus, even all through COVID. You've been in the lab, and the pictures that we showed in the presentation, those are actual pictures of our actual lab and teaching space. So you can see the hairstyling chairs there, and all of the equipment, and the products that are there. And so you've been getting that hands-on experience still.
It's a really, really nice building too. And the wash things, everything's so nice. And I really enjoy the products too. Like, we have Joico and KMS. I really love KMS. I've even bought so much stuff just from those lines, because I've had to. And then we also get the Cosmoprof cards. And I've been going there a lot.
So Dorita, do you know what a Cosmoprof card is?
No, I was just gonna ask.
So the Cosmo is a professional sales place, but because the thing that makes hairstyling compulsory is that they're chemicals, right? And so you have to either be an apprentice, or a hairstylist, or in a hairstyling program to be able to buy the stuff. You actually couldn't walk in there and buy the stuff.
Mhm.
So it's it's a professional retail outlet for hairstylists only. And so so yeah, we're really we're really proud of that partnership and the students are able to get the card.
Yeah,
That's
I think
amazing.
oh, you go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, that's amazing that you get the card even while you're a student, which is so that right away you get access to that. That's awesome.
I think I've spent like $100 each time I've went over 100. It's really easy.
Now, what about, I know that obviously I'm not a hairstylist, and when I go into the salon at the campus and I see the students cutting hair, I'm just like, wow, like how do they, like Savannah, like, or Jeff, like, do you have to know something before coming in? Is that better? Or can you teach me if I don't know anything? Like if I'm an applicant and I really don't have any experience with hair, will Niagara College bring you along? What would you suggest there?
When I went there, I knew a little bit because I took all the courses at my high school that we had to offer because we had a hairstyling class, but I didn't know anything about cutting in. I know a lot now. They've taught us all the proper terms and everything. So I'm getting more comfortable. It's one of my weak spots, but I'm definitely getting there. So you can definitely go in there knowing nothing.
Right.
Like,
And so, yes, the courses are all designed to take a student who has never, ever done anything with hair, has no idea. And so for students like Savannah who might have some experience, the first few weeks that might not be the most exciting for them because they might be doing some repeat stuff, but we take students who go from no knowledge and take them and make them so that they're capable of getting their license. Of course, even in those first few weeks, I'm sure there's tons of stuff that Savannah was learning, right? Only because it's a little bit different than the high school course, like we're trying to get you to the finish line.
mm-hmm.
And from what you've described, it sounds like you learn the whole range of, so there's because you mentioned cutting, updos, coloring, perms, braids. So you learn all that in your time. So you're ready, like you can do lots of different things or everything you need to do if you're working in a salon.
They're also part of our program. We had like the customer. I've learned a lot about the actual industry. And that's the one part I was really nervous about, but I do feel confident enough to work in that. But Miranda taught us our professional practice, and she really gave us a lot of information on that. So I don't know. I'm really scared, but still nervous. But I know she really taught us really well with that.
So is professional practice like how to work with clients, how to interact with clients?
Mm-hmm. How to deal with stuff. It was really good. And it's also, we did a little bit of history too in that class, like a little history of stuff.
Yeah, and it is really important because making the personal connection between the stylist and the client is huge. Stylists will move from to a different salon and all the customers go with them. right, because it's about this professional practice.
Yeah.
Really important piece. Yeah.
And the relationship, how to build that relationship, right, with your clients. Yeah, it's so true. And so obviously with COVID, we've had to have restrictions because of the public health guidelines. But normally, and what we will get back to eventually when COVID, everything settles down and when we are allowed by public health, we have our salon, our teaching salon is actually open to the public. Jeff, maybe if you want to talk about that a little bit of after, when we are allowed to do so, how that works. Right.
And so we're right now building the process for hopefully opening it for the spring, summer, and knock on wood, where the numbers stay, they stop going up, and because I'm a little bit worried that we'll go back into a lockdown. But we're moving ahead with our plan to reopen the customer portion for the spring, summer. It becomes a really important part of the learning because there is a nervousness around doing your first customer that you don't know because it's not your boyfriend or it's not your sister or something, right? And so I remember going into a level 2, because we typically would have level 2 and level 3 do clients, and going into a level 2 class, and I didn't know it was a level 2 class, and I said, well, I want my hair cut, and basically, said, I'm going to pick this student, and sat down into the chair, and the poor student was like nervous, right? And the scissors are shaking against my neck because her hands are shaking, right? And so I was, whoa, I'm going to lose an ear. Hang on here. It's okay. But you're the associate. No, it's okay. But the students, and that's what it's really designed to do, is get the students over that nervousness, right? And so, and become comfortable in the atmosphere. Now I know that the Renee and Cassandra and Brittany now have been doing some really cool things in the clinic experience for the students, and to try to get them to kind of have that a little bit of that experience. But we're going to be opening in the spring. We're going to be opening the clinics.
Yeah. And it's and of course, pending what public health, right, and how things evolve. So it's difficult to predict, but I bring it up also just because it is such a core part of the teaching model for the hairstyling program. And as soon as we are able to do so safely and according to public health guidelines, that's what it is. It's a working salon on campus. Right. And so members of the public can make appointments, and that's just an incredible opportunity for students to actually practice, what they're learning, but they're doing it and to get, like you said, Jeff, that comfort level with the clients, right, and working on people that they may not know. Right. And also the professional aspects of how a working salon operates, right? How does reception work? How do you know when your client's ready? Going through the whole process. So that's all part of it at the Niagara College Welland campus for our hairstyling program.
Right, and typically what'll happen, Rita, is we have very low. We have clients that have been coming to our salon for years. We have clients that have been coming for a couple of years, and sometimes we end up losing clients because what ends up happening is they come in and they get their hair done by a level 2 student, and they make that connection with that, and that's it. Nope, you're going to be my stylist. And so they basically follow the student. When the student goes and gets a job out in industry, they leave, and we never see them again. But that is actually really, really cool and really, really great, and we love it when that happens. Yeah.
And that being said, though, as much as because some people might think, oh my gosh, members of the public are coming in, but like you said, Jeff, that's in term 2 and 3, and the students are prepared for that. Like they get Correct. Prepared for that, and the Correct. Instructors are there to help them and support them through that.
We typically don't sign up clients for the beginning of the term 2. They typically do a bunch of what we call them components, and so they make them work on their mannequins and do different components of hair cutting, getting them ready, and then they slowly start to integrate clients into the term 2. The term 3, typically they'll have a client once every other week. They'll actually be cutting somebody's hair, and that's what it typically was. This year, I'm not sure. We'll wait to see what public health says, because once we're ready to go, they're going to come in and inspect our space and inspect our plan. Right, it will be all to the public health stuff.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And another thing that we are anxious to continue again as soon as public health allows and the world gets a little bit more back to normal is the competition side, right, Jeff? And so Jeff, maybe if you could describe like what's that about? Like, as a student, is there coaching that I get? Like, how do I go into a competition, and what kinds of success have we had at competitions?
So we have we are really fortunate to have Julia Favio, and she is not one of our faculty, but she was one of our students. She did do a little bit of teaching for us, but she's got her own salon now, and she's really busy. And basically, she actually won the very first Skills Ontario Alumni Award. So they just started giving it out, I don't know, 4 years ago. She was the very first recipient, because she won won Skills Ontario and won Skills Canada. So she's really big on competition.
And so, sorry to interrupt you, but for people who don't know, so Skills Ontario is a provincial competition. So it's
Correct.
people from across Ontario that are competing, and they're literally in a large space, like a large auditorium, convention center, and they're doing challenges. And then there's also Skills Canada, which then you're competing against people from across the country. And so
Correct.
you're saying
the winners of the provincials, right?
Yeah. And so Julia has succeeded at both.
At both. And she actually went and did some world competitions for other stuff, after she was no longer, like she was older and no longer could qualify for the skills piece. And so what we do is we bring Julia back. Typically students will identify that they're interested and they want to do that. And what we'll do is we'll get her in on campus for a couple hours a week to coach people. And so Joe will coach them. Pat will be coaching them. They'll all be coaching them. Joe actually has been a judge both at Skills Ontario and Skills Canada. He's actually sat on one of the boards for a while. And so the competition piece is really, really huge. The other thing that we're hoping to get back to next year, we won't be doing it this year, is the ABMs. It's the beauty show in Toronto, and we typically take the students up there, and there's actually some students who have participated at the ABMs as well, and so that's even a more fulsome competition. And so and we've been kind of successful there as well, right? And so it's competing is an integral part of the program. If you want to, like, you could step up and we will help you as best we can, right? I'm really, really proud that we normally have out of this program somebody go to Skills Canada. If we don't have somebody go to Skills Canada, we're shocked.
So that means they've won all of Ontario as a student, right?
Yeah, top three has an opportunity of all on Ontario. So
they're in the top 3 of hairstyling students in the whole province, and then go on and compete against the top 3 students in each province across Canada.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's how skilled and ready they are for that competition, that they've made it to Skills. We've had so many years where we've made it to Skills Canada. And
we're regularly in Canada. We're regularly in the top 5. It's really, really tough at Skills Canada to place in the top 3, but we're regularly in the top 5. We're really, really close all the time. And then, of course, if you're in the top 3, then you get the opportunity to go to the world competition if they're actually having it, and they only have the worlds every so many years. And so some students, they'll get in the top 3 at Canada, but not go to the worlds. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's all extra experience that you can get if you're interested, and getting that extra time with the instructors, as well as with, as you said, this outside coach, a very experienced outside coach. So that's amazing.
So there are some other things that we do too. We do some integrated things. And so, and one of the things that we're missing this year is that typically what we would do is we'd bring over the acting students. Right. And so the acting students would come over before they were going to be doing one of their certain projects. They'd come over, and so they'd be in the lab space, and our students would be getting them ready. And so it kind of becomes this joint effort between the School of Media and the School of Trades, and so it becomes really, really cool, right? Really neat. A type of thing. And the other piece that I didn't mention is we have a course in term 3 where we really, really push students to be creative. And so they do a really cool project. And we normally would have people come in and we do a big open house, and but we haven't been able to have that. Hopefully in the very near future, right? So really cool. And Chris, because I don't think I've ever been able to call her Chrissy as you were. So the students are more comfortable with the faculty. So Chris is the instructor there, and she's awesome.
Yeah, it's a real commitment to innovation and creativity, right? Always wanting to push the boundaries and do more and do different things. That's definitely, again, that's a cornerstone of Niagara College. You see that across all of our programs, and I definitely have seen it in the hairstyling program. You know, Savannah, I was glad that you mentioned about social media and that you had seen stuff on Instagram and maybe Snapchat too, but definitely on Instagram, because I've seen it too, you know. So if anyone who's watching, if you go on Instagram and you type in the hashtag #MyNCStory, you will see often our hairstyling students are usually very active, and our instructors as well, and they will post things with that hashtag, and you can see the amazing sort of the work that they do, right? And I don't know how, if it's as active during COVID, but you can even scroll down, you know, go way back in a few months, and you'll see things that they did for competitions. And it's a great thing. If you're not already, just follow Niagara College on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. We're on TikTok now too. And follow us on there, and you'll see the hairstyling, you know, things come up periodically as well. And it'll give you a sense of the whole college and what we're about as a college, and what kind of a community that you would be joining as a hairstyling student. So we just have a couple of minutes left. So just thought I'd check to see, are there any last words? Savannah, anything, final words that you'd like to give everybody?
I'd really recommend this program. I really like it. I'm going to be sad to leave because I know next semester is my last semester, and it's going to be a sad goodbye. But definitely, yeah. I really recommend it though.
That's good to hear. And that means a lot, because you're a student right in the middle of it right now. And you started the program at a very challenging time. You know, COVID, this whole thing is not easy. And so congratulations for taking that step and doing, you know, going ahead and pursuing what you want to do even during the pandemic. And I'm glad that you're enjoying it, and we're doing absolutely everything we can to give you as best an experience as we can, and as Jeff said, expanding things as much as we possibly can for the next term as well. So that's great. Thank you so much. And Jeff, any last words?
I think I don't know if I could beat that. But I have to say that I'm really, really pleased to hear that, Savannah. With all the efforts that the support staff and myself put in to make sure that we were able to run this year, it's really heartwarming to hear that it's paid off and that you've had such a great experience. And so I really recommend that you do seriously consider Niagara College as your option. As I had said before, we really do things above and beyond. It is a small community. It is it feels comfortable, and you'll enjoy it just as much as Savannah has. So, and thank you, Jarita.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. So again, if there's still a few minutes, that if you have any questions for our student services area, please visit the Ask Me Anything sessions that are still running until 3 o'clock. And if you also, there's also the live chat that's available on the niagaracollege.ca website. I encourage you to also do some more work, you know, hunting around on the Niagara College website for the hairstyling program. Just put hairstyling into the search bar. You'll see our program, but you'll also see articles that have been written about things that have gone on in the hairstyling program, and you'll get a sense of it. And follow us on Instagram and Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat. Can't wait actually to do TikToks when we're when we got all the hairstyling students.
My dance moves? No,
yeah,
but we could do lots of fun things on TikTok, right, Savannah, for hairstyling?
I've seen ads, like it comes up on an ad, like I'm like, how does it know I go there? I don't even follow, but then I had to follow after I saw the mascot guy.
That's awesome. Great. All right. Well, thank you both again. And thank you everyone for joining us. This is the end of our session. And we hope that we've given you the information that you were looking for. And we definitely hope to see you in the hairstyling program at Niagara College. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.